Final step, step 10, socializing. We call this the 90-10 rule. We're big believers in being a human being and living a normal life. You shouldn't have to make major compromises to living in the society that we live in to be healthy. You don't have to move to the Himalayas and live in a cave in order to avoid the world to be healthy. You can optimize your health while still living in the world, taking place in the culture, having fun, etc. So we're going to talk about the 90-10 rule today, the socializer protocol, and then talk about some FAQs. Good health is not about being perfect. In fact, being perfect can actually make your health worse. If you're too OCD about making sure that you never break any rules and that you never expose yourself to any toxins. So the 90-10 rule allows for some wiggle room. With the 90-10 rule, 90% of the time, you should stick with the plan. And then there's 10% of the time for socializing, for eating out at restaurants, for celebrations, for vacations, etc. The way to think about this is you should optimize your day-to-day life, day in and day out, through most of the week and into some of the weekend. The weekend comes, there's some room for flexibility, right? But if you've optimized your food, your home environment, your detoxification, your daily schedule, day in and day out throughout the week, your body is going to be able to manage that 10% that's not perfect. So there's a way to break rules consciously and mitigate the effects if you're celebrating or going on vacation. You can prep before and after. So make sure that you're detoxifying effectively, you're eating clean, you're filling your deficiencies, etc. And then do the same thing as soon as you get home from a vacation or the next morning after a party. So it's like the sandwich method, prepping before and then getting right back on the horse afterwards. Don't stack bad behavior. It's really easy to get too in your head and self-critical and say, well, I've screwed my whole weekend, so I'm just gonna keep driving bad behaviors and get into a pit of despair and self-loathing and just eat like crap the rest of the weekend and watch Netflix and just do absolutely nothing. Don't do that. It's okay if you eat something bad off your diet. Just get back on the horse. You're gonna be fine. Don't get into a spiral of self-criticism because you make a mistake or you go off your plan momentarily. And implementing the socializer protocol that we're gonna talk about next can really help to mitigate any problems that are caused from eating off your diet. Conscious alcohol consumption. It's okay to drink alcohol and still be healthy. It's probably not the best thing in the world, but hey, it's part of the culture. It's part of being a human being. We recommend doing it just once a week, no more than 5 drinks, which 5 drinks is still quite a bit. But if you want to go hard, trying to go more than 5 drinks, less is obviously better. And then using clean alcohol, good wine, especially wine from Europe, tequila or vodka sodas, martinis, not fruity, sugary cocktails, like clean liquor and wine. Okay, the socializer protocol. The socializer protocol is to plug in at times when you're traveling for work or on vacation, when you go out to eat at a restaurant, when you go to a party, when you eat off your diet. You can plug it in anytime. Remember that the feeling of a hangover or bloating or inflammation, swelling, puffiness, this is due to toxicity from maldigested food and inflammatory foods and alcohol when you eat off your diet or go off your plan. So the goal with the socializer protocol is to mitigate toxicity, to decrease the side effects of whatever behavior you do, and to return to baseline optimal health faster, okay? There's 4 components of the socializer protocol. Number 1, digestive support. Number 2, binders. Number 3, detox routines. And number 4, laxative if needed. Okay, digestive support. Remember, digestion always comes first. Our physiology works as a top-down phenomenon, starting with our digestion. So when we have better digestion, we're gonna have better detoxification, we're gonna have less inflammation. So anytime you eat off your diet, taking digestive support to support the top of the hierarchy, your stomach, pancreas, liver, and gallbladder, to help break the food down and make it easier for your digestive tract is gonna help to support the whole system. So for example, a lot of symptoms that you may experience digestively point to certain problems. So if there's issues in the stomach, for example, that's gonna manifest as acid reflux, which usually is a sign of too low stomach acid, not too high stomach acid, immediate bloating after you eat, and burping. That means that food is fermenting in your digestive tract. The low stomach acid means it's not breaking down quick enough. That causes fermentation and gas, which opens up the valve that separates your stomach and your esophagus, and then acid comes up. So taking stomach support like HCl, which is hydrochloric acid or stomach acid, bitters or apple cider vinegar will get the digestive juices flowing to support your stomach, increase your stomach acid. Pancreas. Symptoms that you can experience with pancreas issues is bloating after meals and blood sugar problems, because your pancreas releases digestive enzymes and insulin to support your blood sugar. The best thing to do for pancreas support is take digestive enzymes. And then liver and gallbladder support is needed if you feel nauseous from anything that you eat. That kind of goopy feeling. Sometimes people feel like their vision's kind of yellow. Constipation, gas, smelly yellow stools, all a sign that your liver is congested and needs support. So taking things like taurine, which is an important amino acid for liver function, and bile salts. There's a number of products that contain all of these things in one. And we have recommendations in the master list that you can look at. Dose all depends on the formulation, but 2 to 4 capsules of any of the following digestive support enzymes or hydrochloric acid. You may need more if you eat a much bigger meal, or if you eat off your diet in a big way where you're going to need a lot of support. Remember that digestive support should be taken with meals. It won't do any good if you take it away from meals, if you take it at bedtime. The digestive support needs to be taken when you eat so it can actually break down the physical food that you're eating. You can also just take a splash of apple cider vinegar and water before meals, or a squirt of bitters. There's bitter formulas that come in a spray bottle. It's really easy to carry around, and you just spray it in your mouth before meals. Easy. Number 2, binders. We talked about binders in the daily detoxification routines section. Binders are like sponges that grab toxins and prevent their reabsorption into the gut. If toxins are reabsorbed, that creates this endotoxemia, which causes systemic inflammation in the body. We want to avoid that. That's especially what's happening when you have a hangover. Examples: activated charcoal, humic and fulvic, chlorella, and clay. Remember, binders can be constipating. So if you have a tendency towards constipation, don't overdo it. You should do fine with a mild to moderate dose. You can always test it before you travel and consider using a laxative as well. But 1 to 3 capsules before bed or on waking is a good time to take it, so you can grab those toxins so they're not causing continuous problems in the body. Number 3, detox routines. Detox routines open up the channels of elimination called emunctories. So they're going to increase the speed of toxin removal from the body. Doing detoxification routines as soon as possible when you go off your diet, either before, during, or after, is a good strategy to help your body to deal with the toxic load. Some routines when you can do while you're traveling: taking a bath, doing a castor oil pack, which you can bring with you on your travels, or doing a sauna at the gym. Really, any routine will work to open up the emunctories and help the toxins get out of the body more efficiently. Even exercising and sweating will help to decrease the toxic load by opening up the skin and getting you sweating. Even exercise will open up the emunctory of your skin, get you sweating, help toxin removal. And number 4, a laxative, which is optional. Many people get constipated when they travel or when they eat off their diet, and that can make your trip very uncomfortable. And constipation can lead to significant inhibition of your detoxification. You really don't want to go like days without having a bowel movement. That's just going to make everything in your body worse. So if you have a tendency towards constipation, especially when traveling, we highly recommend using laxative. Remember, the bowel cleansers are an easy way to implement this, that increase your fiber in a way that's safe, that most people tolerate very well, and have that antiseptic quality that keeps the bad bacteria and endotoxin down. Carrot salad, very easy when traveling. You can even just chew on a raw carrot. Oat bran cooked mushrooms. The best laxative supplement is Cascara sagrada. Unlike most laxatives, there's no dependency, it's gentle, it can help to reestablish normal bowel movements, and when you stop it, your body will go back to its normal function. It won't cause a dependency where you have to rely on it. With Cascara sagrada, 1 to 2 caps in the evening before bed. You can also take another dose in the morning if needed. If you're curious how you respond to this, you can always take it before your trip as an experiment. FAQ, is going off my diet or drinking going to kill my results? No, but you have to use your best judgment. Don't overdo it. We don't recommend relying on the socializer protocol every single weekend because you're compromising your health that badly. This is your life. It's based on your values and your goals. You can do whatever you want. You can live whatever life you want. The socializer protocol is here when needed. We still recommend, obviously, prioritizing your health as much as you possibly can and using this as support if needed. If you have a serious problem, you probably shouldn't be leaning into the 10% too much. Serious problems require serious commitment. You can't expect different results if you're not changing the conditions that are leading to those results in the first place. So it all depends on your situation, your goals, and how quickly you want to get results. But hopefully this protocol will give you some sense that you don't